What is up, everyone? I want to welcome you all to this video, and I have a special guest here with me, Bobby. How are you doing, Bobby?
Doing pretty well.
I just want to come on here and do a little bit case study, basically, on what realistically things have been looking over. How long have we been working together again? Like what, like 2, 3 months, maybe?
So we've
July.
been working since late July, around like
Mm.
July 20th, and then now, well, more realistically, it's probably within like 2 months because during August my fan broke and my PC
Right,
didn't work for
right,
4 weeks.
right. I remember that. Yeah, that was not good, but now we're back. So realistically, like 2 months-ish, I would say. So yeah, before we get into though anything YouTube automation wise, could you introduce yourself on who you are as well as how we met?
Cool. So I'm Bobby. I'm in the military. I met Danny through Instagram. I saw his basically one of his videos, and he hooked me up ever since.
Good stuff, good stuff. Yeah, so I guess bro, why did you kind of want to get into YouTube automation though and make an extra income off of YouTube? Because you say that how you're currently in the military, and that is quite solid, I would say. So yeah, what was your big reasoning of wanting to get into YouTube?
Let's think of real life, right? You're gonna work your 9 to 5, and you're really not gonna have free time to yourself. You're working for someone else and for their goals, not your own. And with YouTube automation, it's it's a way to it's slow in the beginning, but it compounds, and eventually you'll get to a point where you're like Danny, where you just have all the free time in the world, and then you could venture to do whatever else you want to do. And it's always going to be like a stable thing. It's not going to fluctuate in terms of, like, let's say stocks. You never know when a company's going to do bad, or just anything else in general, like a regular business as well. And the upsides to it are also that this really requires not much effort, and the returns are pretty amazing, to be honest.
100%, yeah. And I agree with what you said in the beginning, bro. Anyone who is working a 9 to 5, you are literally trading your life away because you're directly exchanging your time, hours you put in for money. Whereas YouTube automation is different. You're just getting as much results as you possibly can out there, which will then pay you based on the results that you deliver for YouTube. So I want to ask you this, Bobby. Obviously, it seems like it was logical for you to get into YouTube automation. But did you have any doubts of working with me? Because realistically, bro, everyone has some sort of fears or doubts to start with, especially getting into something new. And so what did that kind of look like for you?
I mean, yeah, for sure. I mean, it sounds a little too good to be true, In the beginning, it's like, damn, this is really a way that you can make money. Like, it's just kind of unbelievable, and especially with Daniel being so young, it's it's like, I'm not trying to discredit him or anything, but it's a little hard to believe, if you actually look at like what you're doing and like your mindset and just your process of doing things, then I think I could trust you a lot more than someone else.
What do you mean by process of doing things?
Well, you always have a goal in mind, so you're always like taking action. That's one of the biggest things. Um, Even though you could probably do whatever you want. Yeah, no, you really don't have to be helping anyone. It's like you're not stagnant where you are. You always want to grow still. You know, I think it's a lot of the
Okay.
mindset.
Yeah, got you 100%. Before you obviously got onto YouTube automation, you didn't really know much about the story or even me generally. We were basically strangers before we hopped on a call together.
Mhm.
But what was your reasoning for getting into Search Accelerator anyway and seeing what this YouTube stuff is about, even with the doubt of is this too good to be true? What's up here? Yeah, how come you joined anyway?
Hmm. I mean, that is a good question. You don't really know what to expect of it until you actually do it, right? Sometimes you just have to take risks. Like, if you're not willing to take risks, then you're not gonna reap any rewards. So I'm willing to take a small risk. In my eyes, I mean, it was just like it's worth.
You joined without much prior experience of YouTube, I would assume, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so what did you know specifically about YouTube, Evergreen YouTube Automation before joining? Did you have some sort of idea what it was, or did you have no clue what at all? What did that look like for you?
I had no prior experience with YouTube automation in terms of evergreen style content.
It's crazy, bro.
So
And
this is
and
like the first
now
time I got exposed. Yeah.
let's go. Hey, exciting to hear though, new pathways, new doors opening all the time. I guess how is the experience for you the first few weeks of joining? What do we get done?
So the first few weeks are a bit rough. You're gonna have a hard time finding freelancers to actually work for you. This is also just managing people. It's a skill that you have to learn. Like it's a lot easier to, I guess, be nice than it is to actually get things done. Like you need to stand firm in some of your orders or directions or anything like that. And then when it comes to like video editing like the thumbnails and whatnot, my first thumbnails were so bad. Like, oh, they're so bad. I mean, they're still not like, I still have things to improve on, but like compared to before, it took a lot longer and it just looked a lot worse.
How did you feel like you said that your thumbnails were bad, but like what kind of differentiated between like a bad thumbnail in your eyes and like a good thumbnail?
You could tell from other YouTube automation channels, they're just not as high effort, right? Usually they
Hmm.
just have like mono color. There's also some channels that have abstract shapes in the back, it's more
Hmm.
visual. Um, it, I would assume that people would click on that one more often than like a low effort.
So you got definitely like a good understanding now what kind of works, what doesn't really work. How long have you spent building your YouTube channel? Was it like 2 months over, or like is it like under 3 months, under 2 months?
3 4 weeks I didn't really upload, and then
So
ever since
really, it's been
then,
like less than 2 months of posting,
yes,
like maybe
yeah,
one
it's
and a
been less
half.
than yeah, it's been more like 1.5. Yeah.
Okay, wow, got you. So like 1.5 months of posting, Bobby. Like, what is your like? Let's speak some numbers. Like, what does your current views and RPM and revenue look like on the average day?
My views, they're around like 13K. Actually, this is not even updated. On vidIQ, it says 15K.
With that type of views, does your RPM kind of reciprocate on the lower end? Is it like what does your RPM look like as well as overall like revenue per day?
There are some videos that are doing really well, down to around a 20 RPM, and I got like 900 views. So that
You do
made
the
me
math
ten
on that.
dollars.
So my question for you, I guess, like how confident would you say you'd be able to make an extra, let's say, 3 to 5K a month within the next like 6 to 12 months if you were to keep following the structure that you're currently doing,
Mm-hmm.
making sure you're joining the coaching calls and like implementing the right techniques and like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, how feasible would you say that is?
Um, I mean, I start at 3 cents. Okay, I start at 3 cents a day. You'd probably see 5K within like a year. But if you're posting religiously, like Teague is, or
Yeah.
myself right
So
now, I think
yeah.
it's definitely doable within maybe even like the next like 4 months.
Yeah, yeah. It's all about consistency and putting the hours in like consistently. Like it's like a game where like you're putting in the work up front and then delayed gratification will come in where after some time and you set up the infrastructure, you're gonna reap the rewards that you've done the past couple of months. And I'm at the point now where like you don't have to work technically any day. You just work like a couple days a week. And then still reap the rewards that you put the work in for months ago, maybe even years ago. That's kind of how this business model works. So I want to ask you this: like, what would your opinion be on an overall in terms of like, the coaching structure, the support within Search Accelerator? How is that looking?
Okay, so Danny does not need to have 3 meetings a fucking week. This is like,
Four.
well, I guess four. Yeah, four now. It's Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday. That is ridiculous. Like he does not need to fucking do 4 meetings, but he spends the time to actually like try to help you guys, and he'll answer any question. And in terms of like the actual video modules, they're very clear cut. Like they explain everything that you need to know. Um, and Danny's always like accessible. Like he'll respond to you as soon as possible. Unlike other
Love
people
it.
who probably will, oh, the 24 hours. Yeah, let's just wait until the last fucking 23rd hour to respond. I do
Love
appreciate
that.
that part.
Yeah, 100%. Love that, bro. So
And also the
I guess
community.
like
I think
yeah, yeah,
that's a big.
community.
You're not gonna get far just doing it alone. You need to have people that have the same mindset as you to get farther. But you also don't want people to drag you down, right? So community, culture, everything is that relates to that is important. And Danny has fostered something that actually really motivates you to go for something. We always post our wins. We always like joke around, stay after calls, like go over,
Hmm.
oh, what topics we think are trending, or is my thumbnail good? Like there's just so many things that really want to make you grind. So I think that's very valuable.
How to make me tear up, bro. That's crazy. The goal with this is like literally to have and build the strongest community out there, like and genuinely show you realistic and actually proven results. So that's kind of the goal that we do have. So I guess like, the last question for you, Bobby, is like what would you say to anyone who's like on the fence of deciding whether or not they want to get into YouTube automation, join Search Accelerator, and start Evergreen YouTube? What would you kind of say to them?
This is not for the faint of heart. You need to actually put in work to see results. So if you're trying to just look for a quick rich get scheme or get rich quick scheme, this is not it. Nothing comes easy in life. You need to actually work for it. You need to be consistent. That's the most important thing, consistency. And you need to have the right mindset. So if you don't believe in yourself, like, you're not gonna do it.
Yeah, love that. I love the honesty on that. Because like anything that comes with great value, bro, nothing comes easy that's getting or that's worth of value. So love that message. Yeah, that's basically all I wanted to ask you, Bobby. I mean, like, do you have any questions for me specifically, or anything that you do want to say to me, or just anyone watching in general?
Why do you do this?
How do I personally do this?
Yes.
I'm at the point now where YouTube automation is paying me enough money to like replace any 9 to 5 job out there. I don't have to work, but it's like an option for me. I could work. But YouTube automation is also one of those business models where you're not working actively. And so like, I don't know if I'm putting in an hour a day, which is like plenty for YouTube automation, I still have 13 hours. I don't really have much to work with. Don't know what to do. What else should I do? So the other thing about YouTube is, which is quite cool, is that they have billions of active users on it. And so me teaching myself, like a couple hundred people at a lifetime max, is not going to really change saturation or help me lose or make me lose any money in the long term, at least in my eyes. And me helping other people while helping them get into an extra income source, teaching them the skill, and me also getting compensated for it. It's like a win-win situation.
What would you say would encourage newer people to get into this?
Look, like at the end of the day, if you do everything right to a T, you will see results coming in. The most important thing is you yourself putting in the work to actually make this work yourself. So to answer your question, if you want to get into it early. There's no reason for you to delay on it, wait on it for a week, because the longer you delay it, the further you're pushing yourself away from your goals.